Okay, so finding gaps in the line. Now, the word gaps in the line has a few different meanings. Basically, the first gap in the line is Phi has outward force here, and then he changes angle, he changes muscles in his rotator cuff, and there's a gap when the muscle changes. So any muscle change forms a gap in the line. Or he might be very soft there and hard there, and then as I feel that, I go from the soft in the hard and I find the gap and put energy into the gap between the muscles. So that's the first type of gap in the line. The second gap in the line is gap in the alignment between his center of balance and center of mass. So he pushes towards me, I engage his strength, I feel his structure, and then I yield to feel there's the center of balance. He popped it out because he's had a little bit of lean on his body. And most people, when they push on you, they're going to lean. That means the center of balance is forward. So identify structure, identify muscle strength. This is his line of tension. Then identify that feeling I just got from his center of balance, and then I just relax into that gap. Once I've identified that, then he can just push on me any way he wants, and I just feel there's his strength, and then I find the gap. I relax and I loop in. So here I'm circling until I find it. Now if I'm pushing, nothing's happening. I've got to, because it's hitting his strength, I have to bypass the strength by relaxing in, and then I can catch it. So having a bit of a loop. So I find his strength. Now by pushing on, nothing happens. There it is. I catch the gap in the line. So there's a gap between his strength, his structure, his balance. There we go. So he has a punch, knuckles. I can put it on my hands or I can put it on my body. Now he drives the punch into my body. I can feel his strength. Now I pick this line to enter the gap in the strength of his punch. So it might be a punch like this, and he's got my balance quite strong. Now I go, okay. I find the gap. So I'm tuning the fascia after I find the gap. So to start with, if I start internalizing too soon, he'll unconsciously be adapting to my internal method. I want to suddenly switch internal method on. So I feel his physical structure, he's got a lot of power pushing in, I touch his fascia, and then I identify strength, draw back, and then enter. So the gap in the line is finding strength in my partner's body, and then entering into the gap between the strength, the balance, and the mass. And that gap is simply a connection, where they connect, where the balance and the body make a connection. You slip into that gap and the balance separates slightly, and the person's highly subject to energy affecting their balance and their strength. You can do this in all types of ways. The person might just be pushing forward and you just put your fingers on, and that's enough for me to find their strength, find their structure, and get that gap in the line. Now my finger alignment here is more like this, because you can do a pull-up with your whole body weight on two fingers, a little bit of training. So that can support his whole mass. So for the physical push, I can get in and feel I've got enough structural strength because I'm hanging on him. I'm not pushing on him. I'm not pushing, I'm pulling on his base. Same as I'm hanging on a pull-up bar. That gives me the structural strength. Now I can withdraw and find the gap in the line for the energy. So this stuff is very, very easy. It is really simple. As soon as your mind goes click, you start laughing, go, man, how can it be so simple? Because it is. You have mass, you have strength, you have balance. Feel each one of them, identify it, learn to pull the balance out. You feel this big gap. If you touch someone and pull away, there's a big gap. And just learn how to do your qigong, standing, tuning the fascia, stick energy into that gap and everything starts to work. Extremely simple. I can't simplify it any more than that. You just need basic listening skill, mass, strength, balance, pull them apart, tune the fascia, do your standing, extending qigong exercise into that gap. Empty force starts to appear, Bajin starts to appear, being highly sensitive to people's emotions and thinking starts to appear. A whole range of skills start to take place when you find this gap. So this is what we're after. Once you find that gap in the line, it's a self-tuning process. You just tune into it more and more and more and explore where it goes. If you want to explore it much more completely, get Franz Barden's book, Initiation Hermetics. It's out of copyright, so it's free ones online, PDF. Explore the practical meditation techniques, and it shows you how to train the mind to develop these skills at a much deeper level. And very, very simple. Just need to do it, journal it, figure it out, contemplate your journal, and make a loop of growth and development. Okay, let's partner up our players, finding gaps in the line.